Good morning. It's Friday, November 30th, and I'm Arnie Holzer, macro strategist at EAB Investment Group. A couple of themes and trends I'd like to focus on this morning are U.S. debt and the question of whether the U.S. government is squeezing out corporate and international fixed income borrowers by raising the rates. We're seeing a few trends, in particular LIBOR-OIS, or related to what many of you know as the TED spread, which is the cost of London euro-based dollar borrowing. That spread has been widening over the last month, not to the levels that we saw due to the tax repatriation of dollars into the U.S., which led to London-based spreads rising. Not to those levels yet, but we are looking at that, and we do think that there is a risk that credit spreads could be widening. One of the reasons for this is that U.S. Treasury borrowings have risen quite substantially with the tax cut and the fiscal budget deficits growing, and what you are beginning to see is some stress in the markets. You're not necessarily seeing it in the U.S. Treasury auctions, but corporate issues, in some cases leveraged loans, are having more difficulty being placed, and we're seeing it in the international dollar-denominated debt sectors as well. In particular, China and Asian borrowers are feeling the pinch. Spreads have been rising for several months, and the issue in China is pretty significant because most of the growth in China has been on the corporate side, which is more sensitive to credit issues than sovereigns, obviously. A tremendous amount of debt has been issued in China for corporates and quasi-governmental state-owned enterprises, and much of that debt over the next 20 years is actually going to be maturing over the next 5 years. And so the pressure to refinance with rates rising creates more stress in the bond markets, particularly the international dollar denominated. That leads us to believe that emerging markets bonds could feel increasing pressure, and it leads us to believe that ETFs like high yield, HYG, and LQD could also feel more pressure. Thanks again. Have a great day.